Okay, let's do this. It's my birthday! On Monday, June 6th, I, Alexis Zall, will be turning the ripe old age of 18 years old. I got my ballot in the mail to vote. So the 17th year of my life was by far the most emotional, up and down, painful, honestly, year that I have experienced so far on planet Earth. But to focus on a positive, my boobs got bigger. Ever since I was 15 years old with like 400 YouTube subscribers, I have made a video where I list tips that I have learned in the last year of my life around the time of my birthday. This year of my life, as I'm kind of nearing the end of it, I can say without a doubt I feel the most comfortable with myself as a human being that I have ever felt. This year especially, I feel like I've really learned so much. Not saying I'm now a life expert, I'm 18 years old, I'm ready to tackle everything, but I do feel like I have a lot to say that me, even just last year turning 17, would have liked to hear and would have liked to have known. So I present to you 18 tips for 18 years. Tip number 1, the less time I spend on my phone, the happier I am. Tip number 2, I swear, Alexis, every day you have to get out of bed before 11 and you have to eat breakfast. These things sound incredibly obvious. I mean, 11 is hardly like pushing the envelope for times to wake up every day. I don't have a consistent time. I have to be at my job every day. So if I want to, sometimes I can just sleep. And that sounds like I'm bragging maybe to people that are in school or have to wake up at 6 a.m. for work every day. But having the opportunity to just sleep can very, very quickly lead you to being very, very sad. And when I am sad, I have a not so great habit of not eating that much. So as much as this might sound like a very low goal, I have to get out of bed before 11 and I have to eat breakfast. Today I ate leftover sushi for breakfast. It doesn't have to be pretty, but it has to happen. Tip number 3, it's very important to at least try to figure out where your emotions are coming from and to then be honest with yourself about where they're coming from. This is something that up until this year I had a really hard time with because in my mind there are certain things that shouldn't hurt you, but sometimes things that you should be impervious to or shouldn't affect you do. And they hurt really, really bad. As much as it's hard to be like, hey, that thing that might be dumb is hurting me, it's so much worse off to think to yourself, I don't know what's wrong with me, I'm just really upset. Tip number 4, if a moment in your life is happening, you don't always need to add to it. Sometimes you can just be there and be enjoying it quietly to yourself. Tip number 5, always, always, always invest in nice bras and name brand tampons. It is beyond worth it. Tip number 6, if advice that you're given in a certain situation doesn't quite sound right to you, you don't have to take it. And of course, most times when your friends are giving you advice, and same when you're giving other people advice, you mean well, you're trying to help them out. But I also feel like it's important to remember that you know who you are more than anyone else does, and you're more invested in your life than any of your friends or anyone around you. That's another one that may sound really simple, but I wish I had known it. Tip number 7, people will say things all the time that they don't mean or they don't follow through with. And the best way I have found to combat that without turning super bitter or cynical or just thinking human beings are full of lies and I can't trust anyone is just to make in my life a sincere best effort to mean what I say as often as I possibly can. Tip number 8, I'm about to get gay.
Do it.
It is totally okay to be a girl who likes girls or a boy who likes boys. And me personally, I am a girl who likes girls. Did that just come out?
Did you do it?
Ooh, I did it, yeah. Woo! Thanks. Woo! Thanks!
Gay.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like it. I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't necessarily rule out ever dating guys, but I definitely like girls. And it's totally okay to just be that. Tip number 9. I love nail polish. Like, oh my god, it's so cool and pretty, and I don't know why I never really noticed it before, but I love it. Tip number 10. Clothing is the coolest. I would highly recommend trying out lots of different clothing styles and wearing lots of different things until you find something you feel comfortable in, or just switching it up forever. Tip number 11. Nice people deserve nice friends. Tip number 12. This is gonna sound really cocky for a second, but then I explain it. I can be both pretty and smart, and neither discredits the other. I can wear pants that make my butt look good and still know how to carry myself in a meeting. The association between beauty and stupidity is a myth. Femininity is not idiocy, and that is something I completely wish I had figured out sooner than I did. Tip number 13. Whenever I spell definitely, in my head I just say define nightly, and that does it. I know how to spell it every time now. Tip number 14. I'll try anything once. Tip number 15. I love to swear. Tip number 16. You don't always need to answer the questions about yourself that people are asking. You can share as much or as little of yourself with other people as you choose. It's all up to you. Tip number 17. You gotta invest in a really good strapless bra because it's a game changer. Tip number 18. I feel like it is kind of entirely up to you to find meaning in things. Whether that's the people around you or the possessions around you or your career or your family or anything, it's your job to look at that and add depth to it and provide a sense of purpose and meaning to what you're doing. Woo! We did it. 18 tips for 18 years. What is one big thing that you have learned this year? Please let me know in the form of a comment. We are really, really close to 1 million subscribers, so if you're not subscribed, please do it. It's all good. I will see you next week as a legal adult for a brand new video, and have a great day.
Keep your secrets to yourself and put me high up on a shelf. Look at me when you are by. Just
Haven't come out yet, but we'll get to that.
Just did.
Slightly.
Have fun being a gay queen.
I will.